keeping is so important for the success of any farm. If you decide to become certified organic, you will be required to keep certain records. These records will help to improve your farm operations. Some of the records include your seed sourcing, your harvest logs, everything that you apply to the property. There are many different types of records that are required, and it's all itemized and part of your organic system plan. So when you start the growing season, you know going into it what records you need to keep. It's important that you choose a record-keeping system that is going to be something that you will use every day, because it is required to keep your records, as they say, contemporaneously with your activities, which means you need to write it down when you do it, so that at any time, if you have a surprise inspection, your records will be up to date. The records can be on paper or they can be on a computer program. You can even use a little app on your phone. There are many different ways to track your activities, but the most important thing is that you do it and you do it consistently. You will find that having these records can be valuable to your operation because you can reference the history of your activities, and you'll know when you planted certain crops, you'll know when you applied fertilizer, and it will help you to develop your farm as an agricultural ecosystem and ultimately be more sustainable.
I can't understand why a farmer would not want to have a document that said, I put this in my land 6 months ago, a year ago, 3 years ago. I'd want to know without trying to put everything on my memory, my fading memory of what I put in my soil a year, 2 years, 3 years ago.
There are a lot of different ways to keep records, and we do a combination of, I like a clipboard with a blank piece of paper. I write the date on it, tells me when I did whatever I'm going to do. So my field logs and my harvest records are all pencil and paper, and then go into a binder. And planning documents, record keeping of what we're planting, that's on an Excel spreadsheet. I've just converted my fertility to the same way, so I can plug in what I need and what material I'm going to use, and it tells me how much to apply for each bed.
We can have a two-step process, but that's a lot because of who I am, and I prefer kind of a lot of handwritten maps and lists, but I do have, spreadsheets, but I'm still handwriting a lot of stuff in there because that works for me.
Sometimes when I'm writing, I think this would be really cool to stick in a time capsule after I'm gone and have somebody pull this out and see what life was like, because sometimes you put the trials and tribulations of life in there as well, like big ice storm knocked out the power, spent all night, manning a generator to keep, my greenhouse roof from falling in, or there's a lot of that kind of stuff that goes in it too. So I guess in some ways it's beyond that. It's also, I guess, cathartic.
In the beginning, we first used all paper, of course, for our spray records and fertilizing schedules and all of that. But now we've completely put it on the computer, and it works great because it has a feature that when you have your certification, that when people come to certify your farm and to audit your farm, you're able to print every piece of information that they might want. And it's all hinged and connected to what the requirements are in your organic plan.
Building a foundation of your farm is knowing what it's done in the past is the key to knowing where it's going to do in the future.